Morning folks, I thought I would go live this morning. It got really cold up here this morning, my red nose and rosy cheeks. I hope these are all okay. April Fool's Day, huh? Wouldn't it be amazing if the Who come back and said, April Fools, it's just a big sham. Wouldn't it be amazing? But it's not going to happen, unfortunately, sadly. This is it for the time being, isn't it? So I'm out with the boys. I'm in the copse, off on my normal walk, my daily walk. And if you're self-isolating, I'm going to turn around so at least you can see the beauty of the place and spring coming out and hear the birds. I did a video the other day and went to load it yesterday, and I hadn't recorded it properly, so I thought I'd come live instead. So I'm just going to rest myself against a tree, and then I'm going to watch the dogs have a play, and I'm going to turn you around while I chat to you. So let me just flip the camera. There you go. So I can move my arm and just let you watch the boys. So the video that I put up was all about, hello Spud, as soon as the camera goes anywhere near him, he poses. He is such a poser. And as soon as the camera goes anywhere near Dante, he takes off. So he's not the poser. Something's happening though, he's just looked around on alert. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about and what I did the video on was living with dogs at the minute. You know, living with dogs at lockdown. And I've seen loads of posts where people are like, yeah, this is awesome, you know, I'm going to spend loads of time with my dogs, and I'm going to walk them, and then if you've got, you know, a few members in the family, everybody's out walking the dogs, which is really great. You know, everyone's got a reason to get out and get fresh air. The dogs are loving it. But at some point, hopefully, crikey, hopefully, fingers crossed guys, at some point life will return to some semblance of normality. I don't think it'll ever go back to how it was. But, you know, people who don't normally work from home will go back to work. And at that point, the dog is going to really feel it. And so during lockdown, if you can try and keep as much a routine as possible as your normal working week would have been, so not having your dogs with you 24 hours a day. I'm going to stop here just in case people start coming by. Dante, this way. Dante, good boy. So, you know, keeping to a usual routine, because when you go back to work and the dog's back on its own for 3 or 4 hours a day, it's going to really feel it. So get into the habit, you know, if you can, of having the dog off on its own while you do things, so that when the time comes and we're released from the houses, the dogs aren't going to find it quite so difficult. They're going to be used to being on their own for a little while, even if it's only an hour a day or 2 hours a day. And the other thing is, you know, we're really happy. We're at home with the dogs, giving them strokes. Try not to be constantly touching them and stroking them, and if they come over for a cuddle, give them a cuddle and a stroke. Okay, Dante, off you go. Give them a cuddle and a stroke, because all you're doing is teaching them to solicit attention and need you even more. So while we're in lockdown, some really good things that you can do with your dogs is go back to the basic training. So for example, anybody who's read my books will know that I'm a real advocate of doing little things often. So stick the kettle on, put your dog in a sit stay, put the kettle on. I am a Geordie, so I drink lots of tea. Put the kettle on and get some treats out. You know, train your dog to sit, stand, down, sit at distance, wait for the food. Teach them to retrieve their dog balls, which is something that I'm doing in the group. My group, the Pet Gun Dog group at the minute, is teaching the dogs how to retrieve their dog balls after they've been fed. Train your dog to go on its bed. Train your dog to stop on command. If you haven't got a recall, then I'll put a link to my newsletter. Sign up, you'll get a 6-week recall training program for free. Make the most of your time while you're out, you know. If you see people in the distance, pop your dog in a sit, well, rather move to one side, make sure there's 2 meters between you, put your dog in a sit, last. Train your dog really good manners now, so that when we do come out of lockdown, you've got a well-trained dog, you've got an awesome recall, you've got a well-mannered dog who will come back to you when it sees people. And you've got a dog that's not mithering for attention all of the time. And your dog's not going to miss you too much when you go back to work, which is the most important thing at all. We don't want to be bringing in behaviour issues now. We don't want to be putting behaviour issues in place now. At the minute, I really feel it for anybody who's struggling with behavioural issues with the dogs. It must be so distressing for you. There's a website called dogsy.org, and if you go into safety at home and then essential safety information, there are PDFs on there for living with dogs and children. If you've got any children and the dogs are getting a little bit unruly, then I would recommend you got that PDF and followed the advice in it. It's really good advice. And there's also, if you're bringing home a new baby and you've got a dog, again, how to prepare for your baby, your dog for your baby coming home. It's exciting training tricks, and it's exciting doing all of these really fun things with your dogs, but if you can just be a little bit mindful that if your dog's used to getting excited 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, and then you go back to work, it's going to miss you terribly. So my unsolicited advice, my unasked for advice is take some time to train the basics. Sit, stand, down, come, walk on a loose lead when you're out and about, go in the garden, do your loose lead walking. If you've got a dog that likes to carry things, take a little toy out or take a dummy out, do little retrieves, little memory retrieves on your walks, and instill really good manners, so no soliciting attention. Train the dog to put to go on its bed on command and stay on its bed. You know, put the lead down in a circle, get the dog to sit inside of it, put a doormat upside down so it's rubber side up, get your dog to sit and stay on it. And just really instill good manners. Stay safe and yeah, stay safe. Enjoy your dog, enjoy your time at home if you can. And have fun with the dog in the garden, but in the house try and keep it still calm if you can, so that the dog learns just to settle down when nothing's happening. Take it easy, have an amazing day, and here we are, 1st of April. Take it steady. Bye bye.